Hi guys, my name is Lyle. I'm a second year international studies major here at UCI, and I am a leader in Antioch Catholic Community as well as in Luana Light of God Ministry. So I'm here to give you guys a testimony about my personal journey into faith. And the biggest way I can really start describing that is by talking about what faith really means, to me at least. And at its core, faith can be boiled into one word: love. Love requires trust, it requires openness, it requires a desire to want to learn more and more about someone else, and to have that trust, to really know that that other person wants to love you as well. God gave His ultimate trust to us in the sacrifice of His Son, in the life of those martyrs that have given their lives up for us now, the way that we can preach it, the way that we can see the faith, and for every single other occurrence in our life building up to where we are in this moment. Honestly, coming from the perspective of being a Filipino who grew up in the Philippines, I thought that was just how it was always going to be. That faith was just a guarantee in my life, that I was born into it, so of course I'm going to continue living it when I come over here. And for the most part I did growing up. I had a really strong community. I had people who took a lot of time to take care of that, to cherish that growth, and to be open about it. But I think something that a lot of people are going to experience when they come into college is that realization that there is a big world out there. And not only is there a big world, there's a lot of differing ways and differing hardships that we experience that suddenly makes us question where our faith really stands. When I was a kid, one of the songs that really came to my mind was this classic one you hear a lot around here, where it says, what if your blessings come through raindrops, and what if your healing comes through tears? You know, growing up in Philippines, which is literally like one of the rainiest places in the world, you get like, cool, water, liquid, rain, that's sick. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But if you really think about it deeper, the rain is so much more important in that part than we really imagine. And the only time I really experienced and understood that was when I came over here to college. By the time that I was already here, God had taken a lot of the things that I thought was secure in my life and told me to trust in Him. And as He said that, those things were taken away. I'm here in a new city with people I haven't met yet. I have an entire family back home who I cannot call out nearly as much. I have a faith community that I wish I could reach back to call us, say, hey, I miss you guys, but it's not able to. And so I thought I was just left out here stranded in the desert. And that was really the first time I really thought about that idea of water more again. Because the only source of water I had in my life at that time were my tears, were my stresses and worries that are filling me up and making me question where my faith really was. Did I really trust God to get me through this year? Or was I just here just to get through it, survive, and then go back home and find something new? One of the biggest struggles, I think, for a lot of people is that discernment call, that personal calling to really trust and give ourselves up to God every day. Because trust is not something that you build out of a feeling, it's a commitment. And that trust is really hard to build for a lot of people. But that's the most beautiful part of it. The process of us having to experience all of the struggles and strife actually makes the faith all the more worth it. It's like steel. With steel, you have to break it down, you have to brittle it out. It's like Damascus, when you are using fire and brimstone to light it up, to ignite it, and then you have to keep hammering it away, changing the shapes, crushing it down, and then you boil it back into the water, you let it cool off for a bit, and then you reform it, you fold it back, hammer it back into place. That's what God does for us, not to make us hurt, but to make us better. Every single day, He calls us out to have a different chance, a different outlook at life, to see faith through His eyes, through His perspective, through His lens. And that was what I got to experience finally in spring quarter of my freshman year. I joined the Catholic community here. I felt this love, this understanding. I saw people who went through the same things I did, whose eyes lit up with the same open fire when they were able to call out to God, whose hearts were also in pain from their own experiences, and yet were still pursuing a love that could only heal them for so much more than they could even imagine. And that's the type of love that God calls us to every single day, because He doesn't just come through the raindrops. His healing comes through every single possible story and build-up imaginable. He's just leading you to something even more beautiful. welcome to the family. Excited to have you here.